Salutations to all our future judges. In this video, we are going to see Indian Evidence Act 1872. But before going into the video, I'd like to make few requests to our viewers as well as the subscribers. Kindly do not skip the video. Watch the video from the beginning till the end. If you skip in between, you may be missing very crucial information or very crucial aspects which have been explained. Hence, watch from the beginning till the end. And next request is, please do have a notebook and a pen with you, because various questions which have been asked in Evidence Act in various exams would be mentioned or would be stated. And in addition to this, idea would be given as to how questions could be framed in a particular section. It is very important for you. So you all need to make a note of all these aspects. And in addition to this, some additional illustrations would also be given while teaching the act. Hence, you please make a note of all those additional illustrations as well. They would be of absolute help to you in understanding the particular section. And in addition to this, various ways or techniques would be taught which would help you to remember those sections, or to say some memory techniques would be given. This would be really helpful to you in remembering the sections when you go to the exam. I hope this video would be of absolute and great utility to you.
Next, we are going to see public documents. Section 74 speaks about public documents. Generally, what are all the documents which are considered to be public documents? Generally, you know that acts and the documents which are responsible for forming those acts or the records pertaining to that particular act, and particularly when this act is by a sovereign authority. For example, if the Indian government or the Indian Parliament is making a law, then the documents pertaining to that act are considered as public document. Then, of official bodies and tribunals. The third is of public officers, legislative, judicial and executive, or of a foreign country or a Commonwealth country. The second aspect is public records kept in any state of private documents. Section 75 speaks about private documents. So those documents which are not covered under section 74, that is under the public documents, are considered to be private documents. Now, let us move to section 76, certified copies of public documents. Imagine there is a public document and you want to obtain a certified copy of that particular document. So now you need to know when that certified copy can be used and what are all the things which are required in that particular certified copy, or what are all the procedures to be followed for issuing that particular certified copy. So all these aspects have been dealt with in section 76. So imagine a situation where a public officer is holding the custody of a public document. So if that public document is such that any person can inspect that particular document, then in that case anyone can demand a copy of it or a certified copy of it. In that case he has to pay the legal fee. And when the certificate is being issued, it should contain a statement that it is a true copy of such document. It should be written in the foot of such document. And such certificate shall be dated. There should be a date in it, and it should be subscribed by such officer who has issued it with his name and official title, and it should contain the seal. Whenever such officer is authorized by law to make use of a seal, and so issued copies are to be called as certified copies. So generally a person or an officer who in his normal course of work, in his normal duty, official duty, is authorized to deliver the copies. He is considered to be the custodian of such document. Imagine you are going to a sub-register office where the sub-register is there. He is issuing a certified copy. In that case, this sub-registrar is considered to be the custodian of that particular document, that public document. This is explained in section 76. Section 77, proof of documents by production of certified copies. Let us imagine a scenario where we are trying to prove the contents of a particular public document or parts of that public document. Then what we can do is, we can go and approach the authority or the official who's having the custody of that public document and ask him to give a certified copy. So this certified copy what we obtained can be produced in the court or in any other place where it needs to be proved with respect to the contents of the public documents or part of public documents of which they purport to be the copies. Now let us move to section 78. This particular section is very important from the exam perspective. There are so many aspects which have been discussed in this particular section. So please watch this carefully. Proof of other official documents. So if there is a public document, how it can be proved? Subsection 1. Acts, orders or notifications. Imagine the central government or state government or its departments or the crown representative is creating an act or forming an act or order or giving or issuing an order or issuing a notification. In all these cases, the departments will hold a record of all these aspects, and it will be certified by the head of those departments respectively. Try to visualize this particular concept where there is a head of the department. He is holding the records of the departments and he is certifying that this is a valid act or order, or he is signing it, or he is attesting that this is a valid copy of the act or order or notification. Then in that case, the public document can be proved using this record of the department which has been certified by the head of those department. Or this can be proved by any document which is printed by the government or the crown representative. So if the government itself is printing a thing and saying like it has been issued by the government, or any notification is issued by the government, then in that case that printed document itself is a proof. Now let us move to subsection 2, the proceedings of the legislature. So if the legislature is publishing a journal, or if the journal consists of published acts or abstracts, or by copies purporting to be printed by the order of the government concerned. So if the government is saying or asking the legislature to print a particular aspect, then these things can be taken to prove the proceedings of the legislature. If something is happening in the legislature, if some debate is going, if the debate is being recorded and it is being printed based on the instruction of the government, then that print can be used as a proof of the proceedings of the legislature. That is what is explained in subsection 2. Now let us move to subsection 3. If there are proclamations or orders or regulations issued by Her Majesty or by the Privy Council or by any department of Her Majesty's government, then that can be proved by way of copies or extracts contained in the London Gazette, or purporting to be printed by the Queen's printer. So in these two situations, where the copies or extracts are taken from the London Gazette or it is purported to be printed by the Queen's printer, these two aspects can be used to prove the proclamations, orders or regulations issued by Her Majesty or by the Privy Council or by any department of Her Majesty's government. Now let us move to subclass 4. The acts of the executive or the proceedings of the legislator of a foreign country. Imagine the executive is doing some job, he is doing some work. Then how will you prove this? The acts of the executive or the proceedings of the legislature of a foreign country. So this can be done by using the journals published by their authority. Generally they will publish a journal which states that These are all the proceedings which took place in the legislature. So that can be used or commonly received in that country as such, or by a copy certified under the seal of the country or sovereign, or if a central act recognizes it. That is one more aspect. Now let us move to subsection 5. The proceedings of a municipal body in a state. Imagine there is a local body in a state and they are having certain proceedings which they do generally. Then how to prove those proceedings of the municipal body? Then we can get a copy of such proceedings certified by the legal keeper thereof. Imagine a situation where the proceedings of a municipal body is recorded and it is kept safely, and a person is taking in charge of that, or he is a custodian of that particular document or that paper which records the proceedings of a municipal body. In that case, a copy of such proceedings certified by that person is a valid proof with respect to the proceedings of a municipal body. Or if the authority of such body is trying to print a book regarding that particular proceeding, in that case, that book is also a valid document. Now let us move to section 6. Public documents of any other class in a foreign country. Imagine a situation where there is a public document which is not covered under the above said aspects, or it is a document which is falling under any other class in a foreign country. Then that can be proved by the original of that particular document or by a certified copy which is being attested or which is being certified by the legal custodian of that particular document with a certificate under the seal of a notary public. And of course, we know in foreign there are Indian consuls or diplomatic agent. They can also certify it, saying that this is a duly certified copy of that particular public document. So, and upon proof of the character of the document according to the law of the foreign country. So if somebody wants to prove the character of the document, and this can be proved in accordance with the law of the foreign country. To put it in a simple way, the basic fact is, if there is a public document in a foreign country, you can straight away produce the document as original, or you can produce a certified copy of the document with a certificate under the seal of notary public. Or if there is a diplomatic agent, you can even get a sign and you can produce it. And you can also prove the character of that particular document in accordance with the law of the foreign country, because it is a document which is available in a foreign country. So you need to do it according to the law of that particular country for producing the document.
I hope you would have liked the video. If you like the video, please do press the thumbs up button and do share the video with your friends and motivate them. If you are not subscribed the channel, please do subscribe the channel and share the channel with your friends. If you feel that I've left something in this video, or you want me to change the way in explanations are given for the sections, please do let me know by way of comments. Let us join hands together and contribute for a learned society. Thank you.